In a small village, nestled on the edge of a dense forest, there lived a young man named Temba. He was born into a poor family, with a father who struggled to make ends meet, and a mother whose health was fragile. The villagers lived simple lives, often relying on the forest for food, firewood, and other essentials. For many like Temba, the forest was more than just a resource. It was a lifeline. Temba dreamed of a better future, one where he could go to school, learn, and escape the cycle of poverty. But school fees were a constant barrier. His father, despite working long hours, earned too little to afford the education Temba yearned for. It was a frustrating reality. But Temba's determination to succeed burned brighter than his despair. One day, as he watched the village's charcoal traders loading bags of charcoal onto trucks, a thought struck him. What if I could burn charcoal? He wondered. I could sell it and make enough money for school fees. Though he knew it was dangerous to the forest, the idea seemed like the only way out. It grieved him, but the poverty level was too much to bear. And so, Temba began his journey into charcoal burning. He worked long days, collecting dry wood from the forest, burning it into charcoal, and selling it to traders. Collection of dry wood was not tenable. The trees were healthy, with plenty of rains and flowing rivers. Shedding off branches was minimal. After a while, Temba and his friends started felling the huge indigenous trees for charcoal burning and logging. His income grew, and with it, his hope for a brighter future. But his heart remained downcast. He hated what he was doing. Soon, he had enough money to pay for his school fees and continue his education. However, as the months passed, Temba noticed something troubling. The forest around him was shrinking. Trees were disappearing, the once huge trees fading away, leaving his village bare. The animals that once roamed freely were growing scarce. The animals had mass exodus from forest because it was left bare. Their food had become scarce, and there was no cover. The predators' hideouts had been cleared, and hunting became untenable. The air was polluted by the smoke from the burning charcoal. Wildfires had become so common, their lives were at risk. Swarms of bees were seen fleeing the now decapitated forest. The air pollution was too much for them. Their habitat had been encroached. Temba had seen the forest as a source of income. But now, with each tree he cut, he began to feel the weight of his actions. His village started experiencing floods, soil erosion, and droughts. Food became scarce for the villagers and their animals. Their health deteriorated. Airborne diseases became so rampant. The medicinal herbs and honey they got from the forest were no more. Life became unbearable. The villagers' lifeline had been defiled. Temba succeeded in his quest for education, always topping his class, winning many prizes and accolades in his basic education. He performed well in his final exams, but his heart remained heavy. Temba's heart ached as he realized that he, along many others, had contributed to the deforestation through charcoal burning and logging. He had taken from the forest, but had given nothing back. His success had come at a great cost. Temba landed a scholarship to study in one of the greatest universities abroad. On arriving there, he decided to make a sacrifice. Instead of financial studies, he settled for environmental studies. The letters he received from his village while abroad continued to weigh him down. His village continued struggling. He suffered a lot of shame. Even with the high education he was acquiring, he could not lift his face. It was then that Temba vowed to change his path. He had learned that true success was not measured by wealth alone, but by the impact one makes and leaves on Earth. On completing his higher education, Temba had little to celebrate. Even after scoring highly, he still felt indebted to his village. Many organizations offered him job opportunities abroad. He declined, choosing to come back home and mend the mess he created. His parents had always taught him to be morally upright. His conscience was judging him. He had to make a sacrifice for the forest. His heart melted when he saw his village. It was a shadow of its former self. The villagers and their animals were frail, sickly, and emaciated. Temba began using his knowledge to teach others about the importance of preserving the forest. He arranged for public gatherings through the local leaders to sensitize the locals on the importance of environmental conservation, pleading with his peers to stop burning charcoal because they were now uprooting the stamps after depleting the trees. The community was amazed at his change of heart. They obeyed his voice. The suffering they had gone through was too much. All and sundry joined hands and started planting trees. Word spread far and wide about Temba's determination. Many friends stepped in to make his dream a reality. He also partnered with environmental organizations to promote sustainable farming practices and forest conservation. The local government, seeing Temba's efforts, supported him with resources and tools to restore the forest. Slowly but surely, the trees began to grow again. The forest returned to life. The birds sang again, and the animals returned to their home. Swarms of bees were seen making their way back to the forest. The villagers rejoiced. They'll be able to harvest honey like before, and the bees would also help in pollination. The rivers that had dried up due to deforestation began to flow. Life was restored. The swampy areas grew vegetation. Sounds of frogs and slugs could be heard again. There was great relief. Human and animal health was restored because there was plenty of food and fresh air. Tree canopies blossomed beautiful flowers. It was a scene to behold. Sooner the name of village became famous. It became a tourist attraction and research center. The village started collecting fees from organizations and individuals who visited to study about the project. There was improvement of infrastructure in the village. Better schools, medical facilities, modern markets, green energy to serve the whole village and other government offices. Children accessed quality education, all of them wishing to emulate Temba. Temba's efforts to restore the forest didn't happen overnight, but he persisted. Over time, his story became a beacon of hope for other young people in his village and beyond. He had shown that with determination and a sense of responsibility, one could overcome obstacles and change the course of their life while also healing the world around them. Now, as a successful entrepreneur, Temba not only runs a large business that provides sustainable products, but also leads an initiative that educates young people about the importance of both education and environmental conservation. His journey from charcoal burning to forest restoration became a symbol of resilience, reminding everyone that it's never too late to make a positive change for yourself and for the world. The surrounding villages have also embraced Temba's idea and implemented it. The whole region looks great. Living standards have improved. All the villages appointed Temba as their patron. They pay him handsomely. The sacrifices he made have finally paid off. Temba has regained his life back. His success story will guide many generations to come.